Today on Ballistic Burgers, we're cooking up a burger that dates back to 1916 out of Jacksboro, Texas. We're gonna cook up a FirstWeFeast. Let's get going. So FirstWeFeast opened up in 1916, Jacksboro, Texas, and it is still open to this day, and it is still being operated by the same family that opened it originally, 4 generations now. It's amazing. And although this burger is relatively simple as far as everything that's on it, the technique is unlike any other burger I've ever seen in my life. And yeah, it's pretty cool. They're still cooking it the same way that they were back in 1916. And there's a few things that I noticed that are kind of common with a lot of like the depression burgers, like the onion burger example, some of the things they're doing. But let's start cooking. So I'm using my Wildfire griddle, a little bit more modern than what they're using over at FirstWeFeast, but I've anointed this with a bunch of melted beef tallow to kind of give it that it's been cooking burgers all day vibe going. And here's where things get kind of different. I'm gonna put just a big old clod of beef right here, which is what they're doing. They're putting like 2 or 3 pounds of beef in their side of their griddle there. Now I'm just gonna carve out what I need to make a patty. And I'm going to smash it down. I'm not worried about the shape. I'm not worried about little chunks coming off of it. And here come the comments. I'm going to put my buns right on top of the raw meat. I'm not running at a very high temperature here. It's actually more like I said, a medium heat. I'm just going to lay down a little bit of tallow here. All right. I'm going to go for a flip, and like I said, if stuff starts falling off of it, it's kind of already breaking in two. We're not going to worry about that. And they're using a really large trowel that's been kind of ovaled at the end. I'm just using what I have. Wish I would have made one of those big trowels though. Like I said, stuff came off of it. We're not worried about that. Get a little bit more toast on these bottom buns here. Get this nice beef tallow on the buns. Put the patty down on that first. Put it on the second. So I'm going to make it 2 ways, the old-fashioned and all the way. First things first, a little bit of salt on both patties. Some mustard. Some pickles. Some onions. Slice of cheese. This is the old-fashioned, and on all the way, I'm going to add some shredded lettuce, a very thin slice of tomato. This is where it gets a little bizarre. Cheese on top of that, and the bun. And here we are, FirstWeFeast. I'm going to start out with the old-fashioned first. This is the original way that they were making them back in the day. So this is good. You know, one of the things that'll raise a few eyebrows is what they're doing with the cheese. They're not like melting the cheese on the patty on both burgers, which it's from the contemporary mind is a little bizarre, but it works. I mean, sometimes, you know, unmelted cheese works, and it's working on this. I'm getting, the cheese flavor, the tallow on the buns, and the crispy onions and everything. It's just a really good old-fashioned burger. All of that steam going through this bun, so soft. Now let's go with all the way. The first thing that really caught my mind, besides this giant slab of meat on the griddle here, carving off little pieces as they needed it, is the cheese literally on top of the tomato. And it's really, I'd like to know how that started, because I've never ever seen that before. So of course there's no melt on this cheese. But it's really good. I've said this before on my videos, I really love shredded lettuce, it's my favorite as far as if you're going to put lettuce on a burger. I think my personal preference is having the cheese melted on the patty. But this works, and it's been working for 108 years. I wouldn't change a thing if I were them. Yeah, it just really tastes like an old-fashioned burger, like a burger that really no other place serves like this anymore. I mean, I'd love to know how many burger places in the US put their cheese on top of the tomato. But that onion's really coming out, the pickles, the lettuces. Again, shredded lettuce works. This is awesome. It's just such burger history sitting right here. And next time I'm in Texas, I'm going to Jacksboro, I'm going to Herd's, I'm going to eat a burger off their 108-year-old grill. That's what I'm going to do. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. Keep those suggestions coming in. And if you're not subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button, ring the notification bell. Thumb it up if you like it. I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.